When ReZero Season 2 was first announced, this episode is the one I was most excited for. Ladies and gentlemen, the lolly we've all been waiting for, Pandora, ReZero's 8th witch, has finally been introduced, and I can already smell the hentai. If only one clip could represent my feelings about this week's episode, it would be this. For anyone that's confused about why there's 8 witches of sin but only 7 deadly sins, vainglory or vanity was historically included as an official sin, although it was later removed. We finally got the reason behind the Betelgeuse Glow Up Challenge, as well as the origins of his name. What you can learn from a quick Google search is that Betelgeuse is the name of a star in the Orion constellation. As you can see, it's right at the beginning of the dude's arm, which may be a reference to the unseen hand. But before this episode, his name wasn't Betelgeuse, it was Geuse Romanicanti. Des. It wasn't until he decided to absorb the Sloth Factor that Pandora granted him the name Betelgeuse. However, Betelgeuse is a star from our universe, and it was named by someone from Earth, so how did Pandora know to call him that? You might have been able to convince me it was just a coincidence if there wasn't already an abundance of ReZero characters, including Subaru, that are named after other stars and constellations. In fact, just in the image I'm showing you right now, I can see the names of 4 characters from ReZero. And in case you're wondering, Subaru is the Japanese name for the star cluster Pleiades, which means 7 sisters. Real subtle, Tepe, real subtle. So astronomy definitely plays a big role in terms of plot significance, and it's currently one of the biggest mysteries in ReZero. Regulus too is named after a star. Regulus can disarm people without even moving, and he's literally immune to damage. Crucia's attack at the beginning of Season 2 was confirmed to be just as powerful as her attack that decimated the White Whale in Season 1, but Regulus was, of course, unaffected. The unique thing about Regulus as a villain is that he doesn't have any large-scale evil agendas or anything like that. He's literally just a selfish, egotistical dickhead who's been blessed with an extraordinarily overpowered ability for no reason. Imagine if Kazuma had the powers of Reinhardt. That's basically Regulus for you. And now that I mention it, Regulus also yearns for true gender equality. Wait a minute, he's wearing jewelry, his outfit is fresh as fuck, and he's married to multiple women? That about confirms it, guys. Regulus is a pimp. In contrast to the first episode of Season 2, I thought they did a much better job including more Regulus dialogue, but as always, there was a bit of cut content. According to Regulus himself, he's more powerful than both the Sword Saint and the Dragon. I think he might have been exaggerating just a bit, but the author has confirmed Regulus to be the strongest Archbishop and even more powerful than most of the witches. But the reason Pandora's introduction was so impactful is actually because of Regulus. Most of this episode was spent building up his power to establish him as an indestructible, apocalyptic villain, only for Pandora to make all that buildup irrelevant simply by uttering a few words. The way his disappearance cuts him off mid-sentence, combined with the lingering OST, truly made it feel like reality had just corrected an error. The revelation of Pandora's power was perfectly executed, and it left behind a sense of inevitable dread. So if Geuse and Fortuna were smart, they would Naruto run the fuck away. Also, Pandora doesn't wear any pantsu, so hopefully Regulus's eyes didn't deceive him. Pandora became a lot scarier to me when I saw that Regulus, of all people, initially addressed her with respect. And when Fortuna implied that she was responsible for whatever happened to Emilia's parents, I couldn't help but question how Pandora was the only witch to survive Satella's rampage 400 years ago. Pandora, the Witch of Vanity, appears to be the leader of the witch cult, the hidden orchestrator of many of the world's tragedies, and quite possibly the final boss of this anime. With her introduction, we're finally able to picture the endgame of ReZero. Before this episode, the path was unclear, but now I can say with confidence that ReZero is going to be the story of Natsuki Subaru's journey, collecting all the witch factors to eventually defeat Pandora and save Satella. Before I talk more about Pandora though, I know a lot of anime-onlys are probably asking the following questions. Is she a lolly? And can we loot her? To which the answers are yes and immediately. She was described in the novels as someone so beautiful that even God would hesitate to touch her, and I feel like I've made this joke before, but it's a good thing I'm not God. Speaking of God though, it looks like Pandora might have taken his powers. Reality itself seems to obey her as she rewrites phenomena however she wishes to. But let's think about it for a second. Her power has to have some type of limitation, because obviously if she could just snap her fingers and get whatever she wants, there wouldn't be any conflict or any story. Pandora would just win immediately and we'd have no way of stopping her. So the simple fact that she wants to open the seal, but hasn't done so already, implies that her power wasn't enough. Aside from that, she's also the most dangerous villain we've seen thus far. With the death of Geuse and the birth of Betelgeuse, Pandora seized full control of the witch cult, and that's most likely the reason it became what it is today. I wasn't particularly impressed by the effects they used for the Black Serpent, but the amputation scene was really well done. This combination of wind and water magic was really hardcore, especially when you realize why Archi did it. He understood he was a dead man, yet he amputated his leg anyway because he didn't want Emilia to have to watch him die. He prolonged his life solely with the purpose of protecting her, which I thought was very admirable. As we know, the three great Mabeasts were created by Daphne to rid the world of starvation. The white whale was large enough to feed an entire city for months. The great rabbit can multiply indefinitely, allowing it to provide more food than one could possibly need. But the Black Serpent is poisonous. If Daphne didn't want people to go hungry, why didn't she make the Black Serpent edible? The answer is simple. Its purpose was to rid the world of starvation by getting rid of everything capable of starving. It was meant to kill us, not feed us. According to the author, the Black Serpent is the most powerful of the three great Mabeasts. He also called it the most troublesome, likely because most of its destruction is indirect. Compared to the other two, it's not as active, but whenever it moves, it curses the ground it travels upon, corrupting the land so that nothing except other Mabeasts can live on it. The black water from the Frozen Bonds OVA was actually the frozen remnants of the poison the Black Serpent left behind this episode. So theoretically, if the Black Serpent isn't stopped, it'll continue spreading corruption throughout the land until nothing's left. We didn't get to see much of it this episode, but the early sanctuary has a very interesting history. We got to see a younger Roswaal who has two blue eyes in contrast to the current Roswaal's heterochromia. I'd also like to mention that Roswaal in the flashback is 16 years old. I just felt like some of us could use a reminder, that's all. In Ryuzu's flashback, we learned that although she's a lolly herself, she was also a lolicon simultaneously. I can't really blame her though, because it was a rather stunning shot of Beatrice. The art and direction of these new episodes have been outstanding so far, and a big improvement over the first core, so I gotta give credit where it's due. It's finally confirmed that Beatrice is Echidna's daughter. Obviously not biologically, as Beatrice is a spirit and Echidna is a human, though it does feel kind of weird to call her a human. But the reason Byako's design looks like it belongs in a children's book is because Echidna wanted her to look that way. We don't know how Echidna created her. It could have been some forgotten magic or even her authority of greed. Nobody really knows. What's important is that we know Byako is Echidna's daughter. And although Byako's mother is best girl, Byako herself does belong in the highest of tiers, and after this episode, I think we can all agree that Byako must be protected at all costs. So let's hope that Subaru will use protection. Beatrice was also well acquainted with Geuse, as was confirmed in this week's break time.
Geuse.
The reason Geuse was alive 400 years ago is because he's a spirit. So Geuse, or Betelgeuse, was surprisingly one of the oldest characters in rezero, and I'm starting to think we probably shouldn't have killed him. Was his sanity truly irretrievable? It's impossible to tell, but Byako's heartbroken reaction upon learning of his death finally makes a lot more sense now. Byako's interactions with Ryuzu are, for lack of a better term, fucking adorable. There was a shop-exclusive side story that added a bit to the pre-Sanctuary storyline and explained in further detail how Echidna saved Roswaal and helped him realize his magical talents. There was also a cute interaction where Roswaal tells Beatrice he loves her, and then she tries to attack him and chases him all around the Sanctuary. But Echidna, while sipping her tea and watching them, mutters to herself, calling them brother and sister. Whether that was meant to be taken literally is beyond the limits of my knowledge, but I thought it would be worth mentioning nonetheless. These happy, peaceful days of the early Sanctuary were so refreshing and wholesome I almost forgot what anime I was watching. Luckily, Pandora showed up just in time to remind me what ReZero's all about.
Hey.
The music was very on point this episode, and I love how the ending sounded so hopeful, as if the episode was going to end on a positive note, only for Pandora to once again remind us how fucked we really are. Even the break time episode was amazing, and I'm willing to bet a lot of novel readers didn't even know Echidna used to live in a floating castle, so I'm really happy they're actually using break time to promote the lore of ReZero. And yes, it is canon, although maybe not the part where Beatrice was reading Konosuba. This episode gets a 10 out of 10 from me. The highlight was probably the revelation of Pandora's authority. I really felt like Geuse and Fortuna were right there reacting to it along with me. And another good scene was Fortuna's goodbye to Emilia. Really heartbreaking moment, full of emotion. Just a really great episode overall. A lot of people said they didn't like Pandora's VA, but I thought the voice fit her well. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like to support me, and once again, please follow me on Twitter if you want to keep in touch with me if something happens to my channel. Kadokawa is still purging ReZero videos from YouTube and copyright striking any channels that upload them. Just yesterday, they gave copyright strikes to Chibi Reviews and Annie News, two of the best channels that cover ReZero. And a few weeks ago, they gave me one too and removed pretty much the one video I was actually proud of. So because they could terminate my channel at any moment, my only other social media is Twitter, and I'd appreciate it if you guys would follow me on there. It's kinda hard to stay positive in times like these, knowing I could be punished for just talking about an anime I'm trying to enjoy, but the support I get from you guys makes it a lot easier to handle. Thanks everyone for watching, be safe out there, especially if you're a ReZero YouTuber. I wish you all the best, but I'm out for now. Take care.